The proclamation of the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. At that time, Jesus was led by the Spirit into the desert to be tempted by the devil. He fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and afterwards he was hungry. The tempter approached and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become loaves of bread." He said in reply, "It is written, 'One does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes forth from the mouth of God.'" Then the devil took him to the holy city and made him stand on the parapet of the temple and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, 'He will command his angels concerning you, and with their hands they will support you, lest you dash your foot against a stone.'" Jesus answered him, "Again it is written, 'You shall not put the Lord your God to the test.'" Then the devil took him up to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world in their magnificence. And he said to him, "All these I shall give to you if you will prostrate yourself and worship me." At this, Jesus said to him, "Get away, Satan. It is written, 'The Lord your God shall you worship, and him alone shall you serve.'" Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came and ministered to him. The Gospel of the Lord.
Our Gospel for this Sunday, the first Sunday of Lent, is taken from St. Matthew. We have been reflecting on the theme of deciding to be for God, rather than deciding to go against God or to separate myself from God. In the first reading from Genesis, we saw the account of the entry of temptation into the lives of our first parents. The temptation came this way: if you eat of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which God has forbidden, then you will be like gods. That's the reason why God has forbidden you from eating of the fruit, because you will be like God. And what an enticement to eat of it. I will know good, I will know evil. They entered evil. It was a way of eliminating the true God. We cannot tolerate two gods. I will be God, not you. So they decided, not you, I will be God. They did not become gods. In fact, they experienced shame. In the second reading, St. Paul tells the Romans, yes, that was the entry of sin and death in the world. Sin and death, the legacy of the disobedience of our first parents. But God is God. God continues to love us. And so the response of God is a gift, not vengeance, not destruction, but a gift. In the person of Jesus, Jesus showed the contrary. If the first parents disobeyed God, if they had decided to go against God, Jesus obeyed God. And in Jesus, we have another inheritance, a life of grace and of justice. Justice meaning we are in harmony with God. So, sin has its consequences. Grace also has its consequences. Let us choose, let us decide to be with God, and so to take the side of grace and justice. In the Gospel, we have a narrative account of how Jesus himself was tempted. If the first Adam was tempted, Jesus also was tempted. And his temptation was real. It hit the core of his being. After 40 days and 40 nights of fasting and prayer, wow, he was hungry and vulnerable, weak. You know, temptations come when we are at our low points, when we are vulnerable. Oh, the tempter knows this is the time. And look at the pattern of temptations. Basically the same, leading to disobedience. Telling Jesus, choose, decide to go against God. The first is, you are the Son of God. You have power and you are hungry. Use your power to turn this stone into bread. Power for self-preservation rather than power to serve God and humanity. Prove yourself powerful. The second temptation, okay, create a spectacle. Throw yourself from the pinnacle. Wow, people will see you. People will scream. And let us see if God will save you. So test God and let it be spectacular. And the third, I will give you all the kingdoms of this world, all the wealth, but change God. I, the devil, will be your God. If you are vulnerable, if you're hungry, if you're poor, if you are beginning to ask, Lord, what is the way that you want for me? All these temptations could really be attractive. But Jesus showed us, be firm. Believe in the Word of God. Do not waver in your commitment to God. You may not understand. You may not fully grasp His will. But trust. Trust. Do not exchange God for somebody else. Do not use whatever power you have to disobey Him. And do not make spectacles in order to test or to tempt God. All the way, decide in faith, I will be for God. And you will bring grace and justice not only to yourself, but to your family, to your neighborhood, to the whole nation. If by the obedience of Jesus, we have inherited grace and justice, imagine, we can replicate that in our states of life, in our families, and in our neighborhoods. The best way to prevent the spread of sin and death is by spreading grace and justice. But that means I decide to choose or to be for God. I know someone who lost his job. He had a family, but he was the only breadwinner, and the wife left him with 2 children to care for. And it was a very difficult moment for him. His little savings were just exhausted after a few weeks. He was vulnerable. But there were so many offers for jobs. It's good that he thought of contacting me. He said, Your Eminence, I was offered a job to sell illegal drugs. I am tempted to do it. Looking at my 2 children, they need to go to school, they need to eat. And my state of being jobless has been lingering. It's going on and on. I'm desperate. Maybe this is the way. What do you think? So I called him up. I responded to him and said, Look, you know. Don't let your vulnerability lead you to a very bad, distorted choice, the consequences of which will ruin you and your children. You are most vulnerable. And the tempters of this world take advantage of the most vulnerable, making them decide against God. So I told him, you are at your weakest moment. God is closest to you now. Cling to God. And he said, yes. And I invited other people to help him. Now the thought of going against God by selling drugs, illegal drugs, has disappeared. But we have to spread Jesus' obedience, grace, and justice, especially to the most vulnerable. The word has been exposed. Let us now fulfill it. It has been a while now since we started this program in 2008. From day one, you have been with us, our dear friends, assisting us with open hands. We are inviting you once again to be our partners in this ministry. Following the mandate of the Lord to bring the good news to all, we can continue to broadcast and reach more people with your support, bringing the good news to them through television and the internet. Friends, your offering would be very much appreciated. Thank you. May the Lord reward you 100-fold.